Hunter saves it. Hunter Hughes is coming around. Here comes Colton Gardner. It's Hunter Hughes!
Turn 4 for the final time. Who's got more ponies? Checkered flag out. Bluegrass 150 goes to Ian Miller.
And welcome back to the Daily Dribble Podcast, guys. As always, I'm your host, Nick Zammit.
Good, get the name out there. It's like, hey, Joseph Newgarden, you're the guy with the sperm commercial. Yeah.
Hello everybody and welcome to the championship race, the final race of the Wednesday Night Dash season, in season 12. We're in Michigan tonight from Michigan International Speedway with a lot on the line between a couple of drivers here. We got a battle for first and a battle for third in the championship. So quite a bit to go over here before we get into qualifying here in the next 3 minutes. First of all, your driver standings. So the top two separated by just 1 point here coming into the final race of the season. Hunter Hughes leading. However, he will start from the back of the grid tonight, which we will go through the penalties here in a minute. And then Garrett Jarnigan and Jax Malin are tied for third. So plenty of battles going to be going on tonight for position in the championship. And then in our team standings, Smoky Mountain Racing ahead by just 2 points over JM Motorsports. And everybody else pretty much set. Not going to be moving positions no matter what happens in this race, but we still got a battle for the team championship as well tonight. Now for our penalties. So the 18 of Hunter Hughes and the 40 of Colton Gardner have both been penalized. So Hunter Hughes was penalized for leaving the track on the final lap, celebrating the finish, and was black flagged post-race by iRacing, which moved him down to 10th place instead of 2nd. But since it was unintentional, and due to his celebration, his 2nd place finish was restored, which was huge for him in the championship. But FR Racing's race control will have him starting from the back of the grid tonight. And then Colton Gardner, the number 40, was protested by Lane Snow after being intentionally wrecked last week. So he will also start from the back of the grid tonight. Again, we are in Michigan tonight, in Brooklyn. This track opened in 1968, 2 miles in length. We got a 45 lap race tonight. No stage break, but cautions are enabled. So for Hunter Hughes to try and fight his way up through the field tonight, it's going to be a little bit harder if we stay green. "30 seconds left here in practice before we head into qualifying. Colton Gardner currently atop the board. in the practice session. So we will have, or I will be updating the live points tonight. So Dawson Buchanan still has a chance for the pole bonus coming up here, which if he can get that, he will be only a point away. Or no, he will be tied, actually. That extra point would tie him and Hunter Hughes for the start of the race. So we will also have to keep track of the fastest lap tonight. So a lot of bonus points to be given out tonight could make a big difference. Now there are a few ways that Hunter and Dawson can tie in points, and that is if Hunter gets all the bonus points but finishes the race in second and Dawson were to win the race, or if both of them get no bonus points and Dawson finishes one position ahead of Hunter, but it's not for first or second. Or if they split the bonus points, and then same thing if Dawson finishes a position ahead of Hunter, but that is not in first. Probably some other ways too. But those would be the easiest ways for them to tie in points. First time across the line for a couple cars here. Garrett Jarnigan goes P1. We'll keep an eye here on Dawson Buchanan as he begins his first qualifying lap. Or actually, I believe finishing his first qualifying lap here. As he will go to P3. So Hunter Hughes definitely does not want Buchanan to take that extra point for pole position, as that would tie them and make it a little bit harder for Hunter to catch up, starting from the back of the field. But Dawson Buchanan across the line to finish his second lap. And he will go P1, so that gives him, if he can hold it here for the next 2 minutes, that'll give him the extra point and will tie him with Hunter Hughes before the start of the race. So that would be huge for Dawson Buchanan, starting up front and 13 positions better than Hunter Hughes. With just about little over a minute left here of qualifying, doesn't look like anybody else is going to set a lap. And then for the battle for third between Jarnigan, Jax Malin, and Colton Gardner, as Jarnigan and Malin are tied, Colton Gardner's 5 points behind. Jarnigan will start from 5th, and Jax Malin will start from 3rd. So no bonus points to be handed out there. Qualifying comes to an end. So let's take a look at our starting lineup for tonight's race. So starting from pole position, Dawson Buchanan in the number 4. Second is going to be Lane Snow in the number 5. On the second row is the number 9 at Jax Malin. Outside is the 49 at Christopher Fuge. In row 3 is the 32 of Garrett Jarnigan. Alongside him, the 54 of John Miles. Row 4, we have DJ Fluck in the number 88. And on his outside, the number 8 of Brian McKinney. Row 5 is JP Jones, the number 21. And Nicholas Warboy in 27. Row 6 is going to be Connor Fuge in the inside. And the 13 Eric Richardson on the outside. Row 7, we have Hunter Hughes in the 18 car. Alongside him, the 40 of Colton Gardner and Bill Muffeld. Actually, Bill Muffeld will be starting 13th as Hunter and Colton get dropped to the end of the field. So Hunter Hughes is going to be starting 14th tonight, it seems. Has a lot of ground to make up. For his shot at the championship. So 45 laps tonight. We're getting ready to go green. No stage breaks. However, cautions are enabled. Coming around turn 4. And for one final time this season, the green flag will wave for the championship race. Lane Snow gives a good jump there on the outside. However, Dawson Buchanan will clear down low, and Lane Snow is going to just tuck in right behind Dawson Buchanan. Hunter Hughes already up to P10. Slicing his way through traffic. Now up to 9th. And around DJ Fluck. It's going to put him all the way up to 8th. Just one lap into this race. It's going to squeeze it 3 wide there. That's Hunter Hughes. He's up to 6th. Then now making another spot around John Miles. Up into the top 5. Going just 3 laps, Hunter Hughes goes from last to 5th. And now another spot up to 4th as he's side by side here with Jax Malin. Finally, he'll clear and put himself into 4th. So he's got a little bit of a gap here to make up to 3rd, but overall in a good spot here to start this race for Hunter Hughes. We go up front here, there's Lane Snow, he's looking to the inside. Christopher Fuge trying to take away 2nd. Dawson Buchanan 6 laps in here. Still leading for Hunter Hughes. He needs either to lead the most laps himself or have somebody else lead the most amount of laps to avoid Buchanan getting that extra bonus point. But if Buchanan wins the race, that extra point won't really matter anyways. So Hunter Hughes has caught up now to this pack up here. So he'll go to the inside of Christopher Fuge up into 3rd. And now alongside Lane Snow, trying to take away 2nd. Hunter Hughes trying to go back to the inside of Lane Snow. This time looks like he's going to make it work, as he'll clear Lane Snow and put himself into 2nd. So 10 laps into this race, and Hunter Hughes goes from 14th to 2nd, just 3/10 behind the race leader, Dawson Buchanan. or 0.3 of a second. Now in our battle for third in the standings, Jarnigan currently the highest, or no, sorry, Jax Malin is currently the highest position. So it's him and Jarnigan, and then Gardner is 5 points behind. So Jax Malin and Garrett Jarnigan tied for that third spot in the standings. And Dawson Buchanan and Hunter Hughes, after Buchanan's pole lap, they are tied for first in the standings. So as long as no more bonus points get handed out, it's just going to be whoever finishes better between these two. However, it is looking like Dawson Buchanan's going to get the most laps led bonus point here tonight as well, which would put him a point ahead of Hunter Hughes. So the longer this goes on, the more and more likely it is that Hunter Hughes is just going to need to win the race for the championship. So 0.2 now is the gap between Buchanan and Hughes. Hunter Hughes might need a caution here if he wants any hope at making a pass on Dawson Buchanan, as he's now fallen back to 0.5 of a second behind. Hunter Hughes now down to less than 0.2 behind Dawson Buchanan. Here comes Hunter Hughes down the inside of Dawson Buchanan. However, Buchanan fights back on the inside of 3 and 4 as they're side by side. Out of 4 for the race lead across the start finish as we complete lap 19 of this race. Just under halfway. But Hunter Hughes will take the race lead away from Dawson Buchanan as the caution comes out. Unsure what the caution is for. However, the caution is out for the first time today. It looks like it's Eric Richardson in the number 13. Is we're gonna try to take a look here. What happened? All by himself, coming out of 2 there. Gets loose and he overcorrects it into the wall. Only person involved in that incident. But the caution out for the first time tonight after Hunter Hughes takes the lead. So Buchanan leads for the first 18 laps of this race. Got every car coming into the pit lane here. As Hunter Hughes just beats Dawson Buchanan out of the pits. I believe. So, out of the pits, Hunter Hughes finds himself all the way back to last again. Really not sure what that is about. So he was clearly the biggest car out of pit road there. So Hunter Hughes gonna have to restart from the back of the field again. This time from 13th as Dawson Buchanan will lead us to the green flag. So really not sure what happened there. But Dawson Buchanan will come out to an early lead. Hunter Hughes gonna try to make his way up through the field once again. Spins it 3 wide there, down the inside of the 5 of Lane Snow. Hunter Hughes all the way up to 7th already. And now to the inside of Nicholas Warboy. It's going to put him into 6th once he can get around him. So just over halfway through this race, Hunter Hughes had caught up and taken the lead away from Buchanan, and then must have gotten an EOL at the restart. Hunter Hughes up to 4th now. I'm up on 20 laps to go. So he's gonna look to go around the outside, not quite enough momentum there. Now he's going to come to the inside, 3 wide on the back straightaway and into turn number 2. Hunter Hughes goes up to 2nd. Making quick work this time from 13th to 2nd in just a handful of laps. And he's got Dawson Buchanan right in his sights now, with 19 laps to go. And he's going to go to the inside of turn number 3. Hunter Hughes able to clear Dawson Buchanan, but Buchanan's going to go back to the outside. Side by side across the start finish with 18 laps to go. Hughes on the inside into turn number 1. As this time he is able to clear. Hunter Hughes to the race lead. Dawson Buchanan right there behind him. Buchanan's going to have a short look to the inside, but Hunter Hughes keeps the lead as he'll lead another lap. Now remember, this is the race for the championship right here, between Hunter Hughes and Dawson Buchanan, tied in points. But Dawson Buchanan going to get 1 extra point for having the most laps led. So most likely it will go Well, actually, Hunter Hughes with the fastest lap now. So that will tie them in points again, as they both have the lap led bonus. Buchanan's going to get most laps led. Hunter Hughes is going to have the fastest lap, so does not matter where they finish, since bonus points are since Dawson has one extra bonus point, they are tied. So no matter where they finish, whoever finishes in the better position will be the Season 12 champion of the Wednesday Night Dash. As Buchanan's going to look back to the inside of Hunter Hughes. Out of turn number 4, but Hunter Hughes will keep the lead. Coming up on 15 laps to go, and here comes Christopher Fuge for second. Christopher Fuge goes to the inside of Dawson Buchanan. Hunter Hughes has to love what he's seeing in his mirror right now. But Buchanan will be able to get away there from Fuge for now. However, Fuge is not done. He's going to look back to the inside of Dawson Buchanan. Buchanan back to the inside of Hunter Hughes. Side by side out of turn number 3. And they're going to stay side by side on the front stretch across the start finish. Hunter Hughes leads by half a car length. Again, side by side, onto the back straightaway. And into turn 3, Dawson Buchanan now leads by a nose. Buchanan will clear for the race lead that time across the start finish. Is Buchanan contact there with Hughes and Buchanan is going to drop down to 5th as Hunter Hughes pulls away with the race lead. Or pulls away from Buchanan, now is about a second. As Jax Malin goes up to 2nd, Buchanan falls all the way back to 10th. As we do have a battle for the race lead going on here. But let's take a look at what just happened. So, that honestly, I think is more on Buchanan than it is Hughes, as Hunter Hughes holds that inside of the pavement. And Hughes, I think, turns down on him a little bit, so that I do not think should be any action taken by race control, as they're battling hard for the lead. As now Hunter Hughes gets spun out. Hunter Hughes into the wall, and the caution's going to come out with 10 laps to go. Hunter Hughes basically had the championship And Jax Malin just spins him out. Yeah, Hunter Hughes just gets turned by Jax Malin. It's going to put him back to 13th, and Dawson Buchanan is up to 7th. As we're going to have maybe one final restart with around 8 laps to go. But Hughes will have to make his way back to the pit lane to repair that damage, so he will be restarting from last. We saw him go from last up through the field in just a couple of laps last time, or last restart. So if he is able to do that again, it is not over. For Hunter Hughes, Dawson Buchanan first, getting spun out, and then Hunter Hughes was next, the two championship leaders, but with the same amount of bonus points. All it comes down to is the better finisher tonight. As pit road opens, Hunter Hughes will take a fast repair, and I would not be surprised if Buchanan does as well. Probably a little bit of damage on his car. It's contact in the pit lane now with Dawson Buchanan. Buchanan not losing too much time with that, but we'll see if it makes a difference here with any positions. The Buchanan with 4 tires. Hunter Hughes coming out just a few spots behind Buchanan, actually. So Dawson Buchanan in 4th, which I believe will be 2nd, as Jax Malin and Garrett Jarnigan have not hit their tires. And then Hunter Hughes in 9th. So we're gonna have 6 laps to go. 3 positions separate Dawson Buchanan from Hunter Hughes. They'll be restarting 4th and 7th. And again, as they both have the same amount of bonus points for tonight, Dawson Buchanan has 1 more bonus point tonight. That currently ties them first in the championship. So after 9 races, it all comes down to the final 6 laps of this race at Michigan. Buchanan restarting 4th, Hunter Hughes from 7th. Hunter Hughes has been very good on his restarts so far tonight from the back of the pack. We'll see how he does from the mid-pack with the championship on the line. Spot for 3rd in the championship also on the line here with Jarnigan and Jax Malin, as it's between those two who finishes better. But those two also stayed out. Only 2 that stayed out and did not take fresh tires. So the pace car pulls off. 6 laps to go. The green flag is back in the air. Hunter Hughes is stuck behind Lane Snow. As Lane Snow did not go on the restart. And that's going to put Hunter Hughes a couple of seconds back. As contact with Hughes and Snow, Lane Snow is going to spin off. But he will keep it together so that we stay green. Hunter Hughes, with coming up with 5 laps to go, in 6th. He's got quite a ways to make up now. As Dawson Buchanan goes to the race lead. It's now his race to lose. Or his championship to lose. And some damage to Hunter Hughes, I believe, as well. So that will most likely be the championship with 5 laps to go. For 3rd, Jax Malin is in 2nd, and the 32 of Jarnigan is in 4th. So unless the caution comes out one more time, it looks like Hunter Hughes, unfortunately, after leading a majority of the season, will not get his championship. Lane Snow there just did not go on the restart. So really nothing Hunter could have done there. He now falls back to P10 with 4 laps to go. Malin and Jarnigan, the 9 and the 32, though, fighting for the 3rd spot in the standings. Coming up on 3 laps to go. Two laps to go for Dawson Buchanan. Jax Malin and Garrett Jarnigan still fighting hard for the 3rd spot. Or the 2nd spot in this race, the 3rd spot in the standings. But 1 lap to go. Dawson Buchanan leads Hunter Hughes in 12th. And a fight between Jax Malin and Garrett Jarnigan. As Malin into the wall. Here comes Jarnigan looking at the inside. Garrett Jarnigan and Jax Malin side by side here out of turn number 4. And it's going to be Jax Malin just barely for that 2nd position and 3rd in the championship. Fortunately for Hunter Hughes, he's going to end up just short, finishing in 12th. After 2 great restarts getting him up through the field, and then that last restart just gets held up here by Lane Snow. So we'll wait here for our top three to join me in the booth, along with DJ Fluck for some final words before the end of the season. So here are your final results from the race today. Alright, so joining me now is the 32 of Garrett Jarnigan, your third place finisher tonight. So congrats on the podium there, Garrett. Unfortunately, couldn't get that final spot to finish third in the championship, but I guess walk us through those final couple of laps there tonight and what was going through your mind as you were battling with Malin for that second position tonight.
I was just pushed as hard as I could. Got in the wall a little bit back there. Thought I'd be able to get the run, but he just kept it pinned and was able to just beat me out. But it was good racing at the end. It was a lot of fun.
And then any standout moments tonight with other drivers you'd like to highlight?
Sorry, what was that?
Any standout moments tonight with anybody that you like to highlight for the broadcast?
Honestly, it was just a good race all around. It was really, really close the entire time. A couple wrecks, got caught up in one, but got lucky with the fast repair. And when the yellow came out, but yeah, it was a fun run. Good season, everybody, and see you next time.
All right, thanks for the interview and congrats on the podium tonight.
See you.
All right, and then Jax Malin finishing second tonight and third in the championship. So, Jax, take us through your final lap. So, what was going through your mind when you were fighting there with Garrett?
Yeah, obviously I knew I just couldn't make a mistake. And then off two, I hit the wall, got to my inside there, and I kind of just had to hold it wide open. And either she got or checker flag there at the end. But yeah, it was fun. It was a fun night of drafting, and yeah, it was a good night.
And then, what was your strategy coming into tonight's race?
Just try to stay in the draft, stay in the lead pack, and try to save as much tire as I could, and just be at the end. And it worked out.
All right. Well, congrats on the podium tonight and third place in the championship. And thanks for the interview.
Yep, thanks.
Right, and then Dawson Buchanan, tonight's winner and the championship winner. Really good battle in there with Hunter until those couple of cautions came out. But take us through kind of those final, 20 or so laps when you're battling with him.
Yeah, so I was really hoping that there would have been a caution come out there, which luckily there was there as like 25 to go, whatever it was. And right as Hunter got by me, that caution came out and was able to come down and put some new tires on it. And then I guess he sped in pit road, so that gave me another buffer there on the restart. But just had to be mistake free all night, and definitely made a couple of mistakes there and didn't run a perfect race like I wanted to. But at the end of the day, I mean, getting the four truck, for Jam Motorsports in Victory Lane was how it was drawn up. So didn't have a doubt. Just had to go there and run my race, and just huge thank you to all these boys here and everybody that makes this show go on. It's just a ton of fun every Wednesday.
Hey, Dawson, congrats on the win tonight and the championship, and really good season.
Thank you.
I believe DJ would like to say a few words here for the broadcast before we.
Yes, so make some closing remarks. So first off, Trevor, I want to thank you. For those that don't know, Trevor is actually stepping down
after tonight as the announcer, and we'll be heading off to school here in the fall. So wise decision to not take your sim rig with you.
Yeah.
So if I had one when I went to college, I probably would have failed out after a couple semesters. But that's a story for another night. But I want to thank you just for all the work you put in broadcasting and being the voice of the series the last several seasons. So we'll miss you. Don't be a stranger. When you're ready to bring that rig in, give us a call.
I'm hoping, hopefully second semester, I'll be thinking about it, but I might have to join as a driver for a season or so.
Hey, that works too. That's we've had some people go to the booth. I'm live on the air, so. Sorry, my kid just pressed the mute button on me. I'm having some problems tonight. This was a lot easier when they were babies. But in the meantime, we're running our Monday night series every other Monday, bottom split racing series. That airs Mondays at 10 p.m. So check in for that. Indie Racing World Series returned last night, and we'll be back. We're off next week, but we'll be back the following week at Laguna Seca, and looking for a lot of good content. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in, and I'll turn it back over to Trevor to close it out.
So yeah, like DJ said, thank you everybody for tuning into the race tonight. And we take a look here at the bottom split schedule. Heading to Dover on the 21st, and then Indie Racing World Series on the 29th from Laguna Seca. So once again, thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will hopefully see you next week for the Bottom Split Racing Series.